Yeah, just to reflect back on the game tonight. Again, from the warm up to losing Casper to the first 30 minutes, I would say not a lot went right for us. Did not play well at the start. Uh, give the guys a lot of credit. Started to look like ourselves again last 15 minutes of the half, and then certainly the second half we're able to push the game and had a lot of clear-cut looks. Had good chances in the second half. Could have stole a point out of it. Obviously, it's disappointing. You know, here or there in this at this point of the season and now into the playoffs, the margins are small. You have to be clinical and take your chances when you get them. We probably had 5 or 6 really good looks at goal. We missed Ali, we missed Casper for sure, but this team has rose to adversity, and I'm really proud of the way that they played, in particular in the second half. Went for it. Came up a little short on the day, but now we step back. Big picture wise, we've had our best season ever at the club. The 9 months of the year tells a true story. We were close to second, we were close to first, but we weren't quite there yet. So that's the reality of things. 2 good teams are ahead of us, New York City FC and Atlanta. I would like to step back and just to reflect on it. I have some thank yous. A thank you to Ernst, Tanner, and Chris Albright for the roster that they pieced together. Very grateful. These players have had great seasons. I can't thank the players enough. I think my technical staff, Dick Schroeder leaving for Hoffenheim, who beat Bayern Munich the other day, which is a big win for Dick. Grateful for him, for Oka, for Pat Noonan, the performance department, everybody. It was a real team effort this year. I know this loss hurts, but at the same time, if we take perspective, a third-place finish in this conference with the great quality teams that are in it, something to be proud on. It's something to build on. And again, it's 9 months of hard work that go into this thing. So yes, we've lost 2 games now consecutively, but we set ourselves up with a very strong season to be in a position now for the difficult stretch at the end of the year to have a home game. It sets up against Red Bull now. Every game now is your season on the line. These are the games that you want to play in. And again, I'd like to continue to reiterate a thank you for all of the staff that we have. It takes a lot of bodies to have a season, and most grateful for the players as well, giving everything in every training session and then in the games as well. Still the Union's best year, even though this hurts.
Any update on Casper? Was it something that he hurt in warm-ups?
Yeah, so it's his foot. It was non-contact. So again, he trained really well all week. Again, he's always has a little bit of discomfort at this point of the year, like most players in certain body parts. But it felt a little bit unique to him. More of a muscle in the foot. So we'll obviously get some pictures. I don't want to speculate too much, but having seen him run around yesterday in the practice before the game. To then, today in the warm-up, something must have went wrong because he knows his body well. So, again, I don't want to get ahead of myself and speculate exactly what it is, but we'll get the pictures taken. And you guys saw, with the amount of service we got in the box today, I thought Andrew did a good job, but it would have been nice to have Andrew and Casper crashing in on those balls like we had planned today. So difficult to miss him. He's our top striker right now. But at the same time, the team's mentality, everybody has stepped up and again, still did a good job today, in particular in the second half.
Any connection with his past foot injuries?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. It's not related. Those were all, bone issues. So this one is more, it's not that. He doesn't feel it as a broken bone or anything like that. So it's tough to lose him, but at the same time now, we'll see exactly, what the injury is. We'll get through some X-rays and pictures tomorrow and evaluate it and assess it.
You mentioned about the story of the season as a whole, but you sort of alluded to, and I was wondering if you could expand on the story that is told by going into the playoffs having only won 1 of your last 5 games.
Yeah, you can say we've won 1 of our last 5, or if you're an optimist, which I am, going into the toughest stretch of our season where we played DC, Atlanta, LAFC, then 3 on the road. We were 3-2-1, and it sounded like doomsday. But that's kind of the Philly way. I get that. I knew if we lost tonight, it would be typical Union, and obviously the minority, the 5% of all fan bases make the most negative noise, and the negative people get the loudest voice. So if you'd like, you can continue to have that voice, but I still see a team that is different. I see a team that put a lot into the 9 months, set ourselves up to have our highest point total in the league, and I'm going to stand up for the players. So if people aren't happy with the effort that even they give today in the second half, then I think there's been a lot of special moments this season. I think that there's been a lot of work put in on the field. I think there's been a lot of growth and improvement from players. So again, you can say whatever your stats are. I can come up with other stats that would say that, 3 out of the last 4 years we're in the playoffs. Do we have to win a playoff game now? Yeah, we do. But again, you can spin it however you'd like.
You have the right combination of the starting lineup. I know there were all injuries today, but in the various combinations and so on, you've been putting together the last couple of games, do you feel like you found the one that will unlock everything 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's tough today because we don't have Ali Bedoya, our captain. We don't have Casper, and we lose to New York City FC. So again, I'm a realist. I know what our team is. I know exactly what they're about. I know what they can bring to every game. But now if you want to say, yeah, we lost to Columbus, who's in form and actually playing well, and we lost to New York City, who's the best team in the East, it can happen in soccer without our captain and without our top striker. So I'll always focus on the players. I'll always back my players. And if people want to criticize things, they can criticize me, and I'm fine with that, and I'm used to that at this point. So however people want to write the season, they can write it. But I know it was a special year, and our players deserve a lot of praise for the season that they had.
Jim, what did you make of the combination and how Fafa and Andrew specifically worked, especially in that stretch, I guess, right before halftime and in the second half?
Yeah, we had some good looks. You think of Wooten had a free header in the box. Fafa has a free header, and he walks in with the goalkeeper. Maybe he should shoot. He tried to cut it back, which is okay. But those in against really good teams like New York City, 3 good looks in the first half as poorly as we played. And again, like Jonathan knows, I'm a realist. I know we played bad, and I put my hand up and can take blame for that. But we still have 3 really good looks, and the margins against the best teams are tiny, and we didn't come through and get a goal. If it's 2-1 going into half with a little momentum, it maybe looks a little different. At the end of the day, I thought Andrew worked his tail off, was in good spots, had decent looks at goal. Brendan had a really good, couple opportunities too, where he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, maybe could shift the ball to his right foot quicker and get a shot off. So again, the margins are tiny now. A whole new season. This 34 games is over, and that's all I mean when I say that you should be judged on the 34, right? Not on 1 or 2 where you're with players, without players. The 34 game season tells a story. It's 9 months of work. I think you're doing a discredit to it. New York was the best team in our conference. They deserved it, right? And we are a good team too. We finished 3rd this year, and came up a little bit short down the stretch when we had opportunities to maybe go for first.
You can attribute to the first 20-25 minutes, being so lackluster?
I'd be speculating. Again, I thought we were ready. I felt ready. Maybe guys were a little surprised when Casper goes out in warm-ups. It's difficult. Fafa, it's not an easy thing for a striker to, your warm-up's totally different. You go into it with a different mindset. You're probably coming on the 60th minute, and then all of a sudden it's go time. You pull Matt Real in literally out of street clothes. So there's a little chaos in the locker room for sure, but I thought they were ready to go and focused. But again, man, let's just be real and be honest. New York City was good. They were really good in the first 30 minutes, and we didn't have answers for them. They've had a special season, and they're first place for a reason, and they deserve it. And we tip our cap to them, and we're going to work like hell now to get to be able to play them in the Eastern Conference Final. That's our goal.
I thought one of the things early in the game was the way they built out. You guys couldn't press.
For sure.
Did you have any observations on that, or maybe
Yeah.
you could have redone that?
It gave us problems, certainly. With Andrew, he was a little bit isolated by himself, and we made the adjustment at halftime to have Brendan be up there and play when they drop ring in between the 2 center backs to play 2 against their 3, and then now we're a number up behind us, as opposed to now what we did in the first half where we got ourselves in trouble and did a lot of meaningless running. We only went with Andrew. Now a center back could dribble the ball. He had an outside back option. You know, when Elsinho would step to him or Fafa, they could play the outside back, and then they could play inside, and our numbers advantage was difficult. So they have quality, no question. So again, you know, we weren't up to the task in the beginning, and I'll put my hand up and take the blame for that. But we adjusted at halftime, and with Brendan being a little higher, with Andrew now, everybody was a little bit closer to each other to now press, and it was much better. We turned them over a bunch more, and just weren't sharp enough finishing off plays. So yeah, they caught us. I won't say caught us off guard, but they just had real quality, and we weren't pressing together, and they punished us for sure in the first half. Fluky second goal, though, too. God, it was bad.
Time for one or two more.
You said 3 out of 4 years you've made a playoffs, but couldn't get a win. Do you feel the pressure now to finally get that one playoff win?
Of course, there's pressure in this game at all times. So until you do something as a club, which is win the first playoff game, you know, everybody's going to be hard on you and observing and waiting for you to fail. So, you know, we have to. We've earned a home game through a lot of hard work of the players. So now we have an opportunity, and it's a big one. It could have been one of any 4 teams going into the day. And all 4 have real strengths and have a little bit of weaknesses as well, just like we do. You know, so it was in a situation where we wanted to pick one or which one would be the best. So now we match up against Red Bull, a team we know very well. It'll be a great game, and we worked hard to get home field advantage. So we have to take advantage of that for sure. But is there pressure? Of course. You know, at this point of the year, if you're a player, if you're a coach, and you don't like pressure and you don't want to be playing in these types of games, I think you're in the wrong industry, wrong business. So I recognize, you know, it's time now for us to take that next step. I think our players are on board to do so. We have 2 weeks to prepare, and it's a really good Red Bull team. So it'll be similar to today, fine line. Who scores their chances in the box will come away with the win.
To what degree do either of the previous 2 Red Bulls games this year matter with this?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, look, you learn from every game you play for sure. But again, players who have played in the playoffs, it's just a whole different. It's a different season. It's new. Everything's magnified. Every cliche I could say now, you guys know from pro sports, it's just faster. It's just different. Can I put my finger on exactly what it is? No. But yeah, look, they know us. We know them. You know, obviously there's influence from Ernst and the Red Bull way, and we'll see now. You know, who can do it better, and we have it on our home field, which is a big opportunity for us. So the pressure is probably more on us for sure to dictate the tempo of the game. We know they're going to high press us. We know how brave they'll play, and they'll come after us. We have to be up for the task. So yeah, it's pressure. It's a good thing, but you know, again, I step back and still say this team had a really good year.
Thanks, guys.
All right.